Hello graphics kiddos. In this video lesson we're going to learn how to draw a graphic, and that graphic's going to be the Mercedes logo. And this is one of the most iconic logos of all time. As soon as you see this logo you instantly know that it's a Mercedes. So we're going to open up Inkscape and we're going to set up our document so that we can create this Mercedes logo. So with Inkscape open, you want to go to File, Document Properties, and in your Document Properties window, click US Letter, click Landscape. In the display units, click Inches, and then you can just close that out. You also want to make sure your view setting is set to default so that it matches what I'm doing on my screen. And then underneath the help menu is this button that's zoomed to fit. On your left side are all your tools, and you'll notice a shapes tool where there's a star. So let's click on that star tool, and if you were to just click and drag, you might get a shape that looks like this. There's some options up here, and you can increase the amount of corners, and you can change it to a shape or a polygon. See how that works? And if you so some of the shapes will have like this little, there's a little kind of like a square shape, and if you click and drag that, you can do something like what you're seeing me do. I'm just clicking and dragging. Okay, I'm gonna click on the select tool, and I don't want this. I was just showing you some things, some little skills there, and I'm gonna press the delete key on the keyboard. I'm gonna click on that shapes tool again, and before I click and drag on here, I'm gonna change the amount of corners to 3. Okay. Alright, so with that set to 3, you're going to then hold down Control on your keyboard. You can see my on-screen keyboard right here. So I'm holding down Control, and you're going to click and drag so that a point is pointing straight down. Okay. And then don't click off of it or anything. Leave it open like this, and you're going to find wherever this little square diamond shape is. You're going to click in that, and you're going to hold Control again. So hold down Control, don't let go of Control, and you're going to go towards the center until it looks like that. So that just keeps the proportion correct for the Mercedes logo. It keeps all the sides equal and even. Okay. Now we can click on the select tool, and then we're going to find this button right here. This is going to flip it vertically. So I'm going to click that one time. Alright, let me minimize this because we're not going to be using Control too much more. Okay. And we're going to find this button. This is the Align and Distribute button. Make sure that is relative to page in the menu. Notice there's like 2 buttons right here. See those 2 buttons? If I click the X, it closes it. It closes all of those things. If I click that X, those can easily get put back there by just coming up to the buttons here. So I want to click on Align, and it pops up right here. This button right here will minimize it to the right, so that little button looks like a little triangle. And I want to center that, so I'm going to click on these 2 buttons right here. So I'm clicking this and I'm clicking this. That's going to just place your graphic in the center of your canvas. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to create some highlights to make the logo pop out even nicer. What you can do right now is along the bottom, scroll that color bar and find a set of colors that you like. I'm going to stick to something more traditional, like a set of grays. So let's find, so like right here, I'm going to click on this gray color. Now you may or may not have an outline on your shape. So let's take care of that right now. Click on this button. That is going to pop up the fill and stroke menu. In the fill tab, you should have, this is turned on, and that's just the color of the inside. The stroke tab, I'm going to turn that off by clicking this X. If you want it on, you can click this box, but sometimes in the stroke style menu, you might have this menu set to PX or one of the other things. PX stands for pixels. Sometimes your width gets really large. So for example, I'm just going to increase that. This may or may not be what you want. I'm going to leave it at 2px. I'm going to press enter. Just because it's nice to have the outline on some graphics, but not in some cases. It just depends on the graphic. Then I'm going to come over to the tool menu, and I'm going to find the Bezier tool. Now with this tool, you got to be careful. If you click on your mouse wheel and you hold down, you get like a curvy line. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'm going to just tap escape on the keyboard. Let me pop the keyboard up again so you can see when I'm tapping escape. With the, I guess I don't need it, it's not showing up. Anyways, with the Bezier tool selected, on the right side here, you're going to see some snap settings. Let's see, if I don't see those snap settings, sometimes you don't see those snap settings. Alright, so in your view menu, again, make sure you're in the default view, because then your snap settings will definitely be here. You don't want to mess with these unless they're off. So look at this menu closely, and whatever you see highlighted in blue, that should match. Okay. And what we're going to do next is we're going to draw a line here to here to here, and now watch closely. So that little square right there, that should turn red. And then I'm going to click on a darker color to highlight that. Okay. Now I'm going to then click on this tool underneath the select. I'm going to grab this little handle. I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to grab that handle and move this up. Like so. So it should be as close to the center as possible. Click on this button to zoom back out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that shape I just made, so I'm clicking select, clicking on the shape. I can either press Control D on the keyboard or right click on that shape and duplicate it, and then I'm going to move it. I'm going to hold Control down, so just so everyone's on the same page, and you click on a shape and you click on it again. The corners turn into these little curvy arrows that let you rotate. So while you're rotating, hold down Control until this angle matches down here. And then you're just going to move it and snap it into place. Alright, now this angle is not right here, so I'm going to click on this tool and I'm going to grab this corner and I'm going to snap it to that. Let's click on this button again. Excellent. I'm going to duplicate this one now. I'm going to right click, duplicate, and this time I'm going to click this flip horizontal button and I'm going to move it so it snaps over here. Now we have partially created the Mercedes logo. We need a line right here. So I'm going to click the Bezier tool. I'm going to click this corner, and then right here in this spot I'm going to double click. And there is my partial Mercedes logo. I'm going to click and drag across everything, right click and click on group, or I can press Ctrl G. The Mercedes logo has a circle around it, so click on your circle tool. And with Control and Shift held down, click and drag a circle out. Okay. Let's go back to the alignment menu and align that to the center. Let's click on the color menu. Click on the fill tab. We're going to turn the fill tab off. Our stroke paint can stay whatever color you pick. The stroke style, make sure you're on PX, and we're going to increase that to 10. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to click on the select tool now, and I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to click on this guy right here. I want to fit, so it's going to take some alignment. Let me center that. I'm going to grab this, holding down Control Shift. I'm going to hold down Control Shift and I'm going to grab from this middle one. Oh, that's not working. Control Shift. I want the corners to just be touching each point. There it is. Alright, now I'm going to click and drag across each one. Just move it up slightly. Let's make this outer ring. Oops, I messed up. Let's go back to the color menu. Turn fill off. The stroke paint. I want to change the stroke paint. There's this dropper tool. So if I click on that and then I click on the color I want that's already available, it'll match it, which is cool. Let's increase this to 15, the stroke style. There we go. So now we're going to then click and drag across all the graphics. Right click group or press Ctrl G on the keyboard. And let's save this. So go to File, Save. Okay. If you don't have a folder for graphics, go to the libraries and open up the picture folder. Okay. And there should be a button that says create new folder, or you can right click. There's a new button. You can make a new folder and name it Inkscape if you don't already have this. Okay, so in your Inkscape folder, I'm going to name this Mercedes logo and my name, and click save. Okay, and then on the Google Classroom, you'll send me that file. If you are struggling with sending files, please make sure you ask me for help. And good luck making your Mercedes logo.